Hi, I'm Sydney. Welcome to the Forbidden Cities, a Keeper of the Lost Cities podcast where JC and I talk about Keeper of the Lost Cities books, theories, characters, ships, and more.
Okay, hold on. We need to pause here for a second.
Okay.
Because this is Lord Cassius.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There was something I noticed earlier. Okay, yeah, here. Okay. So now we got to where Keith, like Lord Cassius, the one who scares Keith. At the very beginning of 12. Is it okay if we just, linger here for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really catch this before, but, it says, okay, I'm just gonna read this. Lord Cassius says, "Help," Keith snorted, surprised at how normal his voice... Okay, wait. Lord Cassius said, holding out his hands, "I'm not going to prevent you from doing whatever you're doing. In fact, I'm here to help." "Help," Keith snorted, surprised at how normal his voice sounded. He hadn't even had to think about the pebble in his shoe to keep himself under control. Again, we're depending on the pebble. Then again, there weren't a whole lot of emotions hitting his senses at the moment. He could really only feel one, and it wasn't an emotion he usually felt from his father. "I don't need your help or your concern," Keith told him. "I'm doing just fine on my own." Okay, that just made me so sad. He feels concern and help from his father, and he's like,
"What is
not
this?
Something I'm usually feeling from my father." I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't even specifically say. He says, "I don't need your help or your concern" to Lord Cassius. But what it actually says is he could only really feel one emotion, and it wasn't something he usually felt from his father. Mm-hmm. So it could even be deeper than help and concern, and that's just what he says back to his father.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, since I know you're gonna argue, maybe we're being too hard on Cassius, which I'm still
That's
not
a dramatic version
convinced.
That was just my rage bait version of my argument.
Okay.
Yeah. Continue.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up, Cassius is feeling something for Keith, and Keith is this is weird. I don't need that, but he desperately also wants that.
He does want it. And you see that even earlier when he's, painting himself over Cassius's painting, and then he starts crying. Mm-hmm. And it's he does, even though it's so sad. And it's even though he doesn't consciously think, "I really wish my dad approved of me," you do see that that's there, and he's just not willing to acknowledge it.
Yep.
Which it makes sense, because that's if he's willingly acknowledging that, he's opening himself up to being disappointed by it again and disappointed by it again.
Yep.
And I think also that and this is the thought that I've been having with Lord Cassius right now, because we see him being concerned and him helping, and Keith being what? Mm-hmm. But this is really the first scene where we have this much from Cassius. Mm-hmm. And I think that Gisela betraying him. Because we see him being very, whenever Sophie's in his mind, he's, actually thrown off by it and actually really deeply hurt. I think that he did actually really care about Gisela. He was actually in love with her. Mm-hmm. And, that's something that, I've never really thought about. But I think that really changed him.
Yeah.
Because we don't,
Keith
hates him.
Yeah, he was just following whatever he thought about everything until that happened, and now he's wait.
And now he's rethinking. It's his crisis. And I think that in this book, it is easy to look at it and say okay, he's being genuine. But we're doing that with the context of this book. Not really, we didn't see a lot from Keith's childhood. So at least for me, because my memory's bad, and I'm forgetting the stuff from Never Seen, where his parents just forgot about him. And it's I don't know. It's Cassius, a different Cassius here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because honestly, I think Cassius was awful. Mm-hmm. Awful. So I don't think we can make the argument he's always been like that, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about, Gisela, all of that.
Yeah, he's been totally betrayed by her. Mm-hmm. And it's the meaning of this didn't hit me until recently. I think it's a Never Seen. I don't know who says it, but someone tells Keith that the council didn't believe an empath could be completely blind to his wife's betrayal. Mm-hmm. And Keith, he just kind of stares blankly for a second, and then he laughs bitterly, and he says, "Well, I guess now I can't say my mom never did anything for me," because he's saying one thing that my mom did for me is get my dad under investigation by the council. My dad, who cares so much about his noble status. Like, he, like, is bitter.
Also, that also says something about, like, Cassius and how blindsided he was. Like, the council doesn't even believe he could be blindsided.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's an empath.
Yeah, that's...
So he's probably, like, freaking out and questioning his own ability at this point.
Yeah. And it's just so interesting, like, we see... He's just such an interesting character now.
He is.
Because we see him as, like... I mean, basically, like, Narcissus Malfoy. No, is that... No, that's his mom. What Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter, who was, like, bad to the bone.
Yeah.
But, Cassius is, like, he had to think, okay, my son's gone. I'm gonna go get this stuff to help him. Yeah. He goes to Braun. He convinces Braun.
Which is crazy.
Like, gets all this stuff together, and then he goes to him, and then it's like he slips back into this old pattern of, like, oh... you need my help. But he, like, did the actions to help.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think, and we'll talk about, well, I guess we touched on it already whenever we talked about the art and, like, how that's a non-noble thing. He's doing the wrong things and raising Keith. But he's doing it for, like, real reasons.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just, like, oh, like, I think that's stupid. No, like, I think in his heart somewhere he's saying, this is truly what's best for him, and if he doesn't do this, then he's gonna be relegated to...
He's gonna be like me.
Mystery. Like, he's gonna be like... He's like the bad version of me, almost.
Yeah, or, like, he's gonna be wanting to do art and not able to. Like, it's better for me to just drive this out of him. And, like... Exactly. Or he's gonna end up in this bad way, which... Or, like, bad match, or, you know, all these things, like...
And I think, like, one big thing about elven society is, like, because they live forever, no one ever really forgets, like, the mistakes you make. So if you are, like, become a bad match or do something that relegates you to, like, Mysterium or working class, like, you can't really become nobility. Like, Timken Hex has been trying to do that for centuries. And so I think Cassius is just, like, in his... he's doing it wrong. But he's just trying to protect Keith. And it makes him very complex because, like, I think that as an empath, too, like, he's had to feel so much disapproval, and he seeks that so deeply that he's just like, yeah, that must be what Keith wants, too. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my whole, like, he's just more complex than I realized. He's not just, like, stuffy for the sake of it.
I feel like this time, rereading it, I, like, came in with the, like, okay, let me see what goodness I can see from Cassius. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe there is more here. Yeah. What? But at the same time, I don't blame Keith for his bitterness.
No, I don't.
Like, Orly, like, Sophie's towards Orly, that was unreasonable.
That's a little...
Keith's is reasonable. He's a kid. Like,
Well, Sophie's a kid, too. Okay, and so, like, I think Sophie's is realistic in the sense that
it was just out of proportion. She's a teenager. Yeah.
She's a teenager. She's had to, like, even early in the book, she's like, well, I don't want to meet the people who abandoned me, who didn't want me. And so, like, in a sense, if I'm 15 finding this out, I understand how I can feel that one way. But then backing up and going from our perspective, where we didn't experience, like, losing the family that raised us and then finding out there's someone else that actually was our parent, but we don't know who it is and they won't claim us, and now we're all alone in this world we don't know anything about, and then being adopted and then having our adoption canceled, and still these people who are our real parents aren't revealing themselves, and feeling that, like, loneliness and, like, I belong to this person and they don't care. Yeah. Like, I get how from her, like, it does feel realistic if you think about it like that, and from the perspective of being 15, because, like, we're so much older than these characters, and I forget, like, sometimes I talk to my siblings and I'm like, oh, like, being 15 is different than being, like, in your 20s. So true. And it does feel different, and, like, and Orly says it to her. She's like, things feel so much more absolute whenever you're a teenager. Like, I understand that way you're feeling right now.
Is that a direct quote?
Things feel so much more absolute, but you don't realize until you're older that love can come in a lot of forms. She says that directly, and she's trying to explain it, and Sophie's just, like, not having it. Which,
for my sister.
Isn't it interesting? Yeah. And it is, like, I guess, from our perspective, and as, like, being older and looking in from the outside, and even, like, Shannon is the author, she knows all of this, but I do think it's realistic for a 15-year. And I've even seen, like, because I'm on, like, the Keeper Reddit, and I've seen people Sophie's age, like, actual 14 and 15-year-olds saying, like, oh, that was so justified, I totally agree with her. And I was, like, baffled by it at first, and then I'm like, oh, right, like, I'm part of the adults now. That's looking true. At this and being like, I wouldn't react like that, because I'm an adult, and I'm not, like, so dependent on a parental figure at this point, and I'm, like, I don't know, I'm where I can back up and see the complexity here. And I'm not saying, like, I'm so much older than everyone, but, like...
But it's true, your brain changes.
Your brain does literally change.
Yeah. Listeners who are listening, by the way, I have to tell my sister this all the time, and my other sister who, like, went through this too, like, everything you feel right now, honestly, feels so heightened, and that's valid, but just know it's not always gonna be like that.
Yeah.
Like, you are gonna get past it, and it's going to... Like, everything, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like...
It almost feel like it happened to a different person, at least for me. Like, some of the stuff that I went through, I was like, that really affected me, and it felt so, like, I mean, it consumed my life. And now I'm, like, looking back, and I'm like, whoa,
and the same things can happen to me, and they don't affect me the same way. When you're 15, they affect you in huge, big
like,
ways.
one little thing someone says can
and that's
really
valid. That's what, like, that's how
because
it
you
is.
Are feeling
you
that.
are feeling
and,
yeah. And
it's just so, like, it's not like you're not as strong as someone in their 20s. It's just your brain changes.
I wish someone had told me, not in a condescending way. Like, people say in a condescending way, like, oh, it won't matter as much when you're older. But no, it is, like, I wish someone had told me when I was 15, you're feeling things in a way that you're never going to feel them quite to this degree. And it is going to get better. And not everything is going to affect you this way, but this way you're feeling... It's valid, and it happens. Yeah,
exactly. Anyway. I did hate how people would be like, oh, you know, I'm sure it's so hard being 12. And I was like going through...
actually, it kind of is.
Yeah, it is, because when you're older, it just doesn't hurt like that anymore. And I totally agree. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, it's like a different... Your brain is different. Like, everything just feels so much stronger and worse. And because it's the first time you're ever feeling and hearing things like that. And I guess when you get older, I mean, your brain is adjusted to it, but also you've, like, heard so much more that it's, like, it's hard to hear something new the way it is when you're a teenager. Yeah. Anyway, that got deep.
Not even with our sage advice now. What is it that in, like, book 3, I think? This is related, I promise. Sophie's like, Ron's like, what, you're like 12? And Sophie's like 13, and he says, oh, even better, everyone knows that teenagers are known for their wisdom and experience, or something like that. Sometimes I say that about myself. I'll be like, I'll say something like this, and I'll be like, yeah, because everyone knows that when you're 21, you're known for your wisdom and experience. Anyways.
It's crazy.
Anyways. I thought it was wild that whenever Cassius just went, I'm gonna say Bronte from now on, by the way. This is what we were just talking about, where he's like going to Counselor Bronte and asking for a copy of a Pathfinder. He's like, oh yeah, it wasn't easy, but I had a feeling you might need it. How the heck did you go to Bronte and say, hey, give me a Human Cities Pathfinder? And he said yes? What the heck did you feed him?
Yeah.
What did you, like, and out of any, like, Bronte? I'm sorry, I feel like we need to say Bront for this specifically. Bront? Him? What?
I don't know.
That's a wild and intentional choice.
Yep.
Out of anyone, and that's the one that Cassius chose to go to? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Also, I, like, again, would pay Shannon to write that scene.
Oh.
Please tell me how that conversation went down.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
I'm just sitting here like, I don't even know where to start with this conversation. Like, it was a conversation, it happened, but I don't even know how.
What?
Yeah.
I met with Counselor Bronte this morning. No, it's a map. Okay, it's not a Pathfinder. It's the map to the blue Pathfinder. So somehow he said, hey, you know I have a Pathfinder that, like, I rented from the council a while ago?
I don't have it with me.
Can I have a map?
Can I have a map for him, please?
Did you, like, feed him drugs?
Like, what?
And he said, oh, sure, bestie, here you go. What?
I don't know.
That's
I do not know.
wild.
Wait. Yeah, where did Cassius get this Pathfinder?
He had it. It's from the council. Like, he had council clearance to get it.
Huh.
Because only the council has Forbidden Cities Pathfinders, but emissaries can get it.
Bron knows where Keith is.
Yeah.
There's no way he doesn't based on this. They're like, well, they don't know. Hold on. Do they know Keith is gone? There's talk about this, but I can't remember.
Orly knows, but
I don't think anyone else.
Well, I have a theory that Bron knows everything Orly knows.
Okay.
But that's not canon. It's just suspected from the way he acts when Sophie's like, I'm gonna look at who my parents are, and Orly like faints basically, and Bron's like, don't look over there.
So they don't know Keith ran away again.
I don't think
they do.
Well, they were not 7 counselors is dramatic. 4 counselors were like there with Keith whenever he won't talk in Unlocked, and then he's gone for Stellar Loon.
I feel like it might come up. We'll find out eventually. Yeah. Okay, my next note is let me see. I just said LOL.
It might be the same thing.
Probably. I said LOL ouch, where he goes, you don't get to stand there and pretend to be charming, and I am charming.
Yeah.
Where do you think you get it from? He slammed his fist on the desk. I said don't, which is actually sad. But anyway, I am charming. Where do you think you get it from? Whew.
Hold on, I'm rereading what this is. I am on your side, Keith, in many, many ways. You don't think I want to stop whatever madness your mother is planning? No, I think you want to be able to take credit for stopping her and not have to actually do any of the work or take any risks or make any sacrifices. That would be nice. Don't. That's crazy.
Wait, where are you?
This is right before that. It's the
risk.
reason that he says he is charming.
Nice. There was a hint of humor in his tone and a tiny glint in his eyes. What? Yeah.
Wild.
Imagine being Keith. This happens for a lot of people. People I know, too. But, like, imagine being Keith standing there looking at your father, being reminded of how alike you are, and, like, being angry with him and hating him, and, like, who he is. That's wild.
Yeah, that's a deep one.
Yeah. Like, he's just there being charming the way Keith is trying to be charming, and he's like, stop it right now. Anyway.
I think, okay, this is the first time that I felt bad for Cassius.
Yeah.
It's 2 things on one page. It's when Keith says, Cassius says, I haven't been there in a while, not since I found out the truth about your mother. Pause there. He loved her. That's crazy. And then, is that supposed to make me feel sorry for you? Keith asked. Of course not. That's another thing we have in common, son. Neither of us is looking for pity. When Keith didn't respond, he cleared his throat. I'm assuming you have some questions. Not really. I mean, I'm curious how you could spend decades painting the same boring lake over and over and still not be very good at it. His father's jaw tensed, and waves of bristly outrage wafted through the room. Keith grinned. So Daddy Dearest is sensitive about his little lake paintings. Good to know. I wasn't painting the lake, his father informed him as his outrage faded to haughtiness. I was painting the light, trying to capture its ever-changing essence.
It's like whenever he's hurt, he, like, goes to haughtiness.
Yeah. Because it's easier than being, like, pained.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt bad for him. I was like, you're...
Yeah. But I understand Keith at the same time. Keith is
absolutely! They're both, they're both...
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also... So I just posted a video of, like, a snippet of an interview of Shannon when Lodestar came out. And in the beginning of that interview, and I listened to this, like, a long time ago, and it's literally, like, changed the way... I mentioned this, I think, recently. It's changed the way that I view the series, which Shannon talks about how, like, one of her original things, for, like, that inspired the series was their dependence on light. And
you talked about the last
crystal
one too.
and the Pathfinder. Yeah. And then here he's like, I was painting the light.
Yep.
I was like, I know where Shannon had that idea.
In the last one, too, we also... Because, like I said, I just listened to this. We also talked about how I was like, light is... That's Impressionism. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's in that same theory. If you follow me on the meme page, it's in the same video where I posted the thing about Connect, but yeah, that's a very interesting interview.
Yeah. You know, this is interesting too, because we've never seen Cassius from anyone's perspective except... You good?
Yeah, I just read another part, sorry.
Okay. We've never seen Cassius from anyone's perspective except for Sophie's. And then now we're like... I don't know, watching Cassius and Keith stand in the room and converse, which is just...
And I think it's so interesting from an empath's perspective, because a lot of times Sophie's like, I wish that I could translate this emotion. I wish that I was an empath so I could see if this was real.
Yeah, and they're both, like, clocking each other, like, oh, I feel that.
And they're like, oh, hi, I made you feel that. Or like,
yeah.
Oh, no, you know I don't feel this way. Like,
yes.
His father looked away, folding and refolding the map to his Pathfinder, and the emotions in the room swirled into a mess Keith couldn't begin to translate.
And then... the next line?
The pebble thing, right?
Yeah.
I realize this may be hard for you to understand, his father said quietly. This is exactly what I was just saying. Mm-hmm. And that my methods have been far from perfect. But all I've ever done or striven to do is help you to accept that you must learn to conform if you want any chance of success in our world. The lost cities are not kind to those who refuse to follow the rules. And how is keeping a secret cabin in the human world conforming? Keith demanded. It's not, but it took me decades to acquire the trust and resources I needed in order to set up that retreat. Life is a very long game, and you have to play by the rules before you can break them. Prove you're someone worth trusting so that no one watches you too closely. Earn a reputation for faithful obedience, and no one will expect anything less. But you've always jumped straight to rebellion with no thought how that affects people's perception.
Yeah.
And he says, of you...
So Cassius is really, like, the ideal elf in society. He's learned how to, like, follow the rules so he can do his own thing.
Yeah. But his own thing doesn't involve, like, real rebellion. It's just a retreat. It's just a way to get away.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting how many elves we see do exactly what Cassius is saying, like play by the rules, but then like secretly like.
I mean,
not.
he's good at playing by the rules. Like he's got all this stuff.
Yeah.
But
but like then when people get caught, like the people who like play by the rules, but then like the Aryas or like the Hex, and then like someone catches them and like meddling with their matchmaking lists or something. Mm-hmm. It's like they're in huge trouble.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want to go back to the pebble. Mm-hmm, so he's like leaning on the pebble in his shoe to tune out his emotions. That's wild.
Oh, that's when he first starts numbing, though.
Yeah. Well, not first, but continuous.
Yeah, continuous.
Yeah. We could go through all of this. There's so much. Yeah.
I'm not asking you for forgiveness, Keith, nor am I trying to earn it. I think we both know that would be a pointless endeavor. Like this, I'm not saying it's fully redeeming him. I'm not saying I'm not trying to say that this erases what he's done, but I think, in my opinion, like, not from Keith necessarily, but, like, from me, from the outside viewer seeing this, like, I feel like maybe what I'm trying to say is one day that Keith could, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if I was Keith and I was hearing this as a 15-year-old, like, I don't know how you don't say, like, oh, I think you care. Like, not that I forgive you, but, like, it feels different to know you're caring, you know?
Yeah. Oh, no. What was I going to say? Oh, this is one scene that I don't think the audiobook helped. Because, well, I naturally read it in a haughty voice. And then the audiobook made it haughtier, but then hearing you read it in just a normal voice, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, now I'm more sympathetic.
It just depends on how it's interpreted, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend you have an easy road ahead, Keith, or promise that things will go back to normal. Like, this is so, like, he's saying all of the right things here. And, like, if he was lying, Keith would be like, I feel his lie.
Yeah.
I feel his lie. But he's not.
Oh, do you even know what the new abilities are? My note was, do you? Like, why is he saying that, like...
Yeah, as if he knows the answer. What page is that?
It's right after what you just read.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Do you know what the new abilities are? Wish he could say of course, but his father would know he's lying. And then this is, okay, going back to the, like, Keith is numbing out or, like, becoming violent or whatever. The only thing I need to know is how to end her, Keith reminded him, and I have plenty of plans for that. And then his father basically says, I feel your resolve, you might be ready to do that. And then Cassius says, you're forgetting that your mother will only show herself when the timing is right for her. How did that work out for you, Nor? So he's, like, warning Keith that, like, okay, again, this might not go.
Which he's
Great.
right about, because that's exactly what happens at the end of Stellar Loon.
Mm-hmm.
Is Gisela just pops out when she's ready, bombs Vespera, and crazy, by the way. And then she's like, Elysian, come out, wherever you are.
Which I still, like...
All of that
I don't
was
know.
like, what?
Yeah.
The last, like, 2 pages were like, bomb Vespera, omniscient being walks out.
Yeah.
I'm a power source, your abilities are all gone.
Any of my theories, like, throughout Stellar Loon, then
Just
that happens,
dropped
like...
away.
Now I have no idea what's gonna happen.
And that's another thing, is, like, even reading Stellar Loon and I'm making these theories about what can come next for certain characters, but, like, I don't know
who that
because,
is.
like, all these people could die.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
did you catch the thing in Stellar... And this is, I guess, Stellar Loon theory, but I'm gonna stop here.
Mm-hmm.
In Stellar Loon, right before they leave, Sophie, like, looks around at her friends, and she's like,
this
this
could
is
be
the
the
last
last
time it
time.
ever feels like this.
Yes.
Like, what is about to happen?
Yeah.
Like, no theories.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I have no thoughts.
Yeah. It's just like, what is Elysian?
Is it an elf? Is it a god?
could be
Is it a
anything.
human?
Yeah.
Nothing.
She
Why are
could
their
be
abilities
anything.
gone?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I don't have any
I don't
thoughts.
even know.
0. There's nothing. There's no...
There's nothing. Yeah. I mean, we've tried. We'll keep trying.
I've
but, like,
I've
what?
tried so much.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
them being like, oh, there's, like, a mood.
That's why JC's going in the past and
Awareness.
writing fan fiction.
Yeah.
Because
I can't write the future!
yeah, no.
I have a very specific plan. Okay, I was gonna say this. I put a poll up, like, do you guys want me to do this non-canon compliant thing or, like, write a canon compliant one? And more people voted for like, I was kind of surprised, like, it was, like, more than 100 votes.
Really?
Yeah. But more people voted for non-compliant. And I was like, okay, I can still write the canon compliant thing once we get book 10, because I have a very specific plan for how I'd like to write an epilogue. It's my loophole for how Kendrick's life. But I was like, I'm going to write this non-canon compliant one right now, because I can't expand the series right now. I don't have any idea what happens
For sure.
next.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. Then they talk about Gisela, his father's mood shift.
I'm gonna see if I, like, have any actual new... Yes! Okay, his father's mood had shifted again. This is page 105. Is it okay if I start here?
Yep.
Okay. To a churning, bitter unease, as if he knew something he wasn't saying. I don't mean to scare you, his father said, stepping closer. I'm not scared! We both know that's a lie. He placed his hand on Keith's shoulder and Keith jerked away. There's nothing wrong with fear, Keith. It can be a powerful motivator. Look where it's led you. You found the perfect place to hide while you adjust to your new abilities, and I can help you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
He's saying all the right things right now.
Mm-hmm.
And no, that doesn't take away what he's done in the past, but, like, Keith, who else is going to help you right now?
Yeah. Also, I've been picturing this whole conversation, like, them separated across the room. It's strange that, like, now he's moved
like,
close enough to...
proximity.
Yeah.
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 That's a strange... I don't need your help! That's
Yeah.
a strange tantrum to throw when you're standing in my office, searching my desk for the map to my Pathfinder, while wearing my clothes, with my money in your pocket.
Yep. It's funny. Also, I feel like this is one situation where I wish Shannon would almost pull that out more. Like, the physicality of, like, him stepping closer. But I feel like it's Shannon's INFJ inferior SE.
Yeah, it's not as... Actually, can I have legacy?
Yes.
So right here, like, he's like, it's a strange thing to say whenever you're standing here in my house, looking for my thing, with my clothes, with my money. And Keith was like, yeah, except you didn't have anything to do with any of that. And Cassius is like, really? Do you think I just always leave my cabin unlocked so any wandering hiker can make themselves at home?
And here we go.
I'm not gonna do it anymore if you say that. No, I'm not doing it.
I have a guess.
You probably know exactly what it is. Yeah, but you don't get to take credit for that. Don't I? It's the same pattern.
Never mind, this is not where I thought that.
Okay. Here it is. They're good parents, Sophie. Orly to Sophie and Legacy. Far better than I ever could have been. Talking about Grady and Adeline. And Sophie says they are, but you don't get to take credit for them. Don't I? I was the one who stopped Alden and Della from adopting you. It's the same, yeah, but you don't get to take credit for that. But I did do that.
Yeah.
I just find there's parallels like that are very interesting. And it's because it's Shannon and the same author, but also it is an interesting dynamic.
Yep.
And to see the differences and, like, why they each feel like that.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, they're going to understand each other so well.
Oh,
You
Keith
know?
and Sophie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're like,
True.
yeah, I get how it feels to be like emotionally abandoned and yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. I have a little note right here that just said O, which is there's a fingerprint sensor built into the handle. His father explained, and I programmed it to accept your prints. Why? Hard to say. He turned away, staring out through the window at the moonlit ocean as his mood turned pensive, with a hint of nervousness trickling through. Okay, again, we get his whole mood because empaths, but then he's like, why? Hard to say.
Yeah. I suppose I figured if you ever found your way there, it might be time for us to have some longer conversations, and I might as well leave the door open, so to speak. Or I might as well open the door, so to speak. The words were an invitation, but Keith was too tired to accept, too angry, too lost. Anyway, worked out well. Now you have a safe place to hide out. So that was his dad being like, hey, you want to be friends? And then Keith doesn't say anything. He's like, never mind. Yep, so...
Well, yeah, but at the same time, at least he acknowledges it. He's like, okay, those words were an invitation, but I'm
He's
tired.
like, I can't do this.
I'm hurt right now. Yeah, and then I feel like it does get gentler until he says, you're already looking faded. No, I'm not. Have you looked in the mirror? You're verging on translucent.
After I convinced... Oh, he went to his technopath buddy.
Yeah, I mean, he's really running his errands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking some people into some things. I don't know. This is kind of impressive.
This parallels someone in my life.
I'm Kay
so
Lordson.
well. Can you hear me, JC?
Oh, what'd you say?
This parallels someone in my life.
Oh.
So well. I'll explain after. But it's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay, but you can't tell me that Cassius... He was like, I thought you would like it. And he's like, look, I put Sophie's last name with your name. Do you like it? And Keith was like, oh, you could have at least given me a new middle name. His father shook his head. And he's like, I don't understand. But he's like, what is it? He had no idea. He was like, the new last name fixes the problem with your initials, doesn't it? He's like trying so hard to be like, did you see that? You like it, don't you? Which is so funny that even Cassius
Can you
ships
imagine
them.
Cassius? Yeah, like typing it in. He's like,
He's like,
new last name.
oh, he's gonna love this.
Yeah.
Which is so funny. Like, it's so funny that even he ships Keith Foster.
Yeah.
That means, like...
What, you know what's also interesting, too? It's kind of symbolic of him, like, changing Keith's last name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, changing from his family to a different family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny how, like, every one of the parent characters for both of them are like, how's Keith? How's Sophie?
Yep. Okay, can we talk about Erwin? I know we talked about it before. Do
Go
we need
for
to
it,
talk
man.
about Erwin?
You can talk about Erwin.
I just hate it.
All their middle names are weird.
Again, like I said, it's like Erwin.
Elgar?
I'm sorry.
Alger?
No, those are fine. Those sound...
What?
Those sound fine.
I
they sound
that
like...
weird.
Okay, they're weird, but they're like Elvin. Elgar.
Not Erwin?
Erwin. Erwin? Do you hear that?
I'm
Sounds
sorry.
like Kermit.
Erwin. I'm on Cassius' side. You're not an Erwin. You're a Keith. But I'm done with this discussion.
Okay.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, not me. That's what Cassius says. He's like, I'm not arguing with you about this. You're being stupid.
I feel like Cassius is like, yeah, that was stupid, but I'm gonna... No, we're not talking about this.
Literally. He's like, yeah, well.
I'm done with this. No more. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He also... I feel like... Okay, if we're taking your reading of, like, he's like, look, I put in Foster.
Look, you like
then
it, don't you?
Keith is like, ugh. And then his father, it says, in a haze of annoyance thick into the air. And then he gets a little haughty again.
Yeah.
It's like,
He's like, you didn't like my thing that
Yeah.
I did for you?
does it say anything about his...
He's so sensitive. That's
Yeah,
the thing. He's like
yeah.
shockingly sensitive.
Yeah. Well, Keith is too.
Well.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if, like, it says anything about his mood when he gives him the thing. Crossed his arms, reached into his pocket.
He had no idea what his father was trying to imply by naming him Foster, but he wasn't in the mood for it. Keith, since when are you not in the mood for this? You seem to think I'm mocking you, his father murmured. Strange, since I chose the name to be inspiring. Your mother is trying to make you believe that shifting to her cause is inevitable, so I thought that you might welcome a reminder that you've already chosen your side. No matter what your mother claims or what you're discovering about your new abilities, you'll always have a say in your future. The words shouldn't have meant much coming from his father, but Keith's eyes teared up. His father cleared his throat as Keith tried to dry his tears with his sleeve. You should know she came by yesterday. Sophie, not your mother. She showed up a few hours after you left, demanding I give her the list of cities my Pathfinder went so she could try to find you. Keith's heart swelled like a supernova. Did you give it to her? Yes and no. She saw it in my memories, but she decided to leave you be.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Okay, I want to hear... So, okay, it says his father murmured. Like, you think I'm mocking you, his father murmured. And then Keith tears up. I kind of want to hear how the audiobook puts it, because I feel like he didn't murmur. Like, it's just like...
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to find it. Yeah.
Question. You had no idea what his father was trying to imply by naming him Foster. About your new abilities. You'll always have a say in your future.
Okay,
The
wait.
word shouldn't have meant much.
Okay, back.
Strange, since I chose the name to be inspiring.
No, wait.
Your mother is trying to make you believe that shifting to her cause is inevitable. So
Okay.
I thought you might welcome a reminder that you've already chosen your side. No matter what your mother claims, or what you discover about your new abilities, you'll always have a say in your future. The word shouldn't have
that
meant
was softer.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Young love is so exhausting. No need to deny it. Your feelings are obvious. Well, to everyone except her. That's so funny. He
Yep.
could feel a hint of glee pulsing through the room, and he was tempted to throw the passport at his father's head. That's so funny. He's like, I know you like
It's
her.
just so fun how they can, like, fully just clock each other's emotions.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay, so
goodness.
wait. Why can they... this is a silly question, but Keith can read emotions better now that he's got...
He can feel Cassius from across the room.
Can
but
Cassius feel Keith?
Yes, but it's a new thing, and the reason I know is because I pay attention to everything Orally says. And in 8.5, when she walks in the room, and it's the first time she's been in the room since Keith had his abilities triggered, she's like, I can feel his emotions from here, and that is new if everyone's
So
wondering.
Keith is
now his
sensitive
emotions
and radiating.
Yeah,
Okay, got
yeah.
it. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh, but that's interesting for them, like, understanding each other. More.
Because now they can both feel each other without contact now, which is new. I think that's the interesting thing is like,
Yeah, this is not
that's
normal.
new for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
They don't strike me as the physical contact types. With
No,
each other.
no.
No?
They both just they hate each other.
Yeah, they don't want to be in the same room.
But now they're feeling like they're not
Yeah.
just feeling. Yeah. Okay.
They're forced to deal with the other person's feelings, basically.
Yeah. And then Keith is so like sensitive. He's like, Sophie's not looking for me. Well, you ran
If
away,
it
buddy.
helps. And then Cassius is like, if it helps, she really did want to find you. I didn't have to be an empath to see that. And then Keith's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
They're just so funny.
We need to keep on trucking here. Probably.
I'm scrolling through like notes.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Cassius again on page 114.
Man, you did some. Oh wait, no, that's a highlight. Never
There's a
mind.
highlight, yeah. Not yet. You may have already noticed that humans are incredibly reliant on small gadgets they call smartphones, but those can be monitored by the various human governments, so I wouldn't recommend acquiring one. I've also made some general notes. He dug through his cape pocket and retrieved a palm-sized notebook on things like foods to try, what to avoid, common expressions and customs, tips to find places to stay or where to find important information,
Did he
or how to
make
use
this
transportation.
entirely just for Keith?
I'm sure your instinct will be to ignore this the same way you've ignored all of my other advice. Be ill-regarded if you do. I said I literally never would have expected this from him. Like, this was not...
Okay, I know I've read this before, but like this man pulled out a whole notebook.
He went to Bront, said, I need a map. He went to a technopath, said, make me a passport. And then he went and wrote a whole notebook on the Forbidden Cities. He's like,
And he
here are
changed
my gifts for
Keith's
you.
name to Foster. He's like,
He's trying to redeem himself. He's trying.
Yeah.
He is doing
Yeah.
all of the right things. And he's like...
just,
And he even said, I don't expect forgiveness from you. I don't expect pity from you. I don't want anything from you. Here you go, bye. Just like all the right things to do.
Yeah. Wow. I know I read this before, but like, wow.
But see, this is why I was like...
Yeah.
We don't have to forgive him, but like, he's trying.
I think I read it too much as a plot device, and now I'm realizing Shannon didn't write it as a plot device.
No.
She wrote it as, like, I was like, okay, yeah, he brings in the stuff, that helps. But now I'm reading it as like, no, Cassius brought Keith the stuff.
Yeah.
That he hand wrote. That he, like, went all around to find. At first, like, before this, I was like, okay, well, yeah, okay, he went there and there. But now I'm like, no, he went there and there. Yeah.
Also, this is just because I'm thinking about the council so much right now, but, like, Bront totally knows why he gave Cassius the map. He totally knows it.
Yes.
He's not stupid.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if they know Keith is missing.
Yeah, which I think Bront does. I think Bront knows most things.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Okay, I have a note back. Wait, I'm not sure if this is before or after.
What page?
Oh wait, maybe it's not a note. It's just a highlight. Page 113.
113. Yeah, you're first.
Yeah, I just have. Oh wait, yeah, it's right after what you said. What makes you think I'm heading to London? London, Keith interrupted. Because you're smarter than you like people to realize. He held Keith's stare, daring him to deny it. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a lot of students like that. They would try to pretend they didn't know stuff, and I was like, yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. Can we please Google whether you could, like, okay, maybe after this, but I want to know if the sparkle thing is a real thing that, like, they train people, like, where did Shannon get this? Did she just make up, like, look for the sparkle because she had to have a way for Keith to not see, or did she, like, research how do you train people to look, like, I don't know, I want to know.
Go for it.
Okay, I'll Google it real quick. Okay, you can scan for reflections, like turn off the lights and shine a flashlight around the room.
So, when Keith is like, what, just why? Like, almost page 117, the emotions in the room faded to a blur. Honestly, sometimes I wonder that myself, his father murmured. The best answer I can find is that while humans have their share of problems, they're also incredible creatures, full of beauty and kindness and creativity. And they can be so much more open-minded than we are. I disagree with many of the Black Swan's decisions, but the one thing they truly got right was having Sophie grow up believing she was human. The perspective she gained from the experience is truly invaluable, and while you cannot ever achieve the same effect, I hope you'll use your time in the Forbidden Cities to experience as much as you can. I realize you'll be focused on your mother and your abilities, but I hope you'll occasionally let yourself get distracted. Taste their foods, see their sights, embrace their cultures. Let their world shape you. You'll be a better person by the end of it. This is insane, and it reminds me of when Sophie first meets him in, like, book 2, and he's, like, so interested in her. And it just strikes her, she's like, why is he, like, paying this much attention to me? And it's not because he's trying to be, like, creepy.
Did Shannon know from then that she was gonna make this little hideout?
I don't know. This Cassius being like, humans are so interesting is so opposite from the never seeing being like, the problem is humans. What do we do with these? That's Fenton's whole speech in Lodestar. Like,
is this why Cassius wants to be part of the Black Swan so bad?
Well, that's the thing, is, like...
We just didn't know.
I think a lot of it is because he, like, is mad that Gisela betrayed him. But I also, like, this seems real. And this is, like, a similar thing that, like, Bront said in Nightfall. And I think it's... Okay, so, like, there's a lot of... Sophie has specific thoughts about it, but it's also an unlocked of how the Black Swan and Never Seen kind of see the same problems with the Lost Cities, but their solutions are so different.
Yeah. I know you say Cassius joined because of Gisela, and that's probably true. But reading it back, I wonder, I feel like Sophie was also like, what do you mean he wants to join the Black Swan? Like, what? Like, having the motivation of, like, oh, he was part of the human world and likes it kind of makes that make more sense.
It does, yeah. And him being like, the Black Swan was so right to put Sophie in the Forbidden Cities is interesting.
Yeah. When he says, you'll be a better person by the end of it, Keith says, he could tell his father meant every word and it made him want to shout, if it makes you a better person, why are you such a jerk? And my note was real. It's like, yeah, why are you such a jerk?
Yeah, literally. Okay. Is that the only thing you have before? This is just, like, the last chunk. Okay.
Yes.
So, anyways, he's, like, giving Keith all the advice. He helps him, whatever.
Oh, like, except we also have the thing where, like, he's like, don't just take that money to the pawn shops. Do you see that?
Where is it?
It's, like, right under what we just read. I'd recommend seeking out what's called a pawn shop, but be careful. Those tend to not be in the safest neighborhoods. A young man carrying a bag of jewelry or a bag of cash for selling that jewelry would be an easy target. And then he gives him some more advice. And he's like...
He gives him medicine?
Yeah. But he's like, that would make things complicated because humans rarely make payments of that size in cash. So that's when he's like, Keith, buddy, like, no.
You're gonna get robbed.
Yeah. Don't do that, please. Yeah. And Keith is just like, noted.
Okay. I have one more side-by-side comparison to do. Okay, again, it's there's nothing specific I'm trying to say with it. It's just like, look at this. Okay, here we go. I'm not doing this for you. I know. Remember to watch for the sparkle, he added as Keith held his crystal up to the moonlight. Oh, and one last thing. It was the perfect moment to tell his son he'd miss him, or that he was proud of him. If nothing else, he could tell him to be careful. Instead, he smoothed his hair and told him, do yourself a favor. Before you leave the next place, make sure you try one of their churros. Okay, now let's switch to Legacy. Here we go. Sophie says, so I get to be unmatchable, and Prentice had to spend years in exile with a broken mind because you wanted to have it all. Orly shook her head. Prentice spent years in exile because of a dozen different misunderstandings. And you... Once again, Sophie waited for Orly to finish that sentence. And waited. And waited. And waited. Until she finally had to ask, that's it? I don't know what else you want me to say, Orly admitted. Sophie wanted to tell her, how about I'm sorry, or I'll fix this, or how about I love... But she shut down those thoughts. Because if Orly couldn't think to say them on their own, then they weren't worth hearing from her anyway. Just another, like... This is what I want to hear from you. This is what I want to hear from you. Okay, I'm not going to hear that. Fine. I wasn't expecting it anyway.
Yeah. However, I would argue this is Cassius's way of saying
that.
Yeah. He's like, have a churro.
Go get a churro.
He doesn't know how to. But at least he's saying something.
Yeah.
He's
absolutely.
Like, I want you to enjoy.
He does say something.
Yeah.
And he's like, go eat some good desserts. Have fun, buddy. I think he's very, like, he's like, you know, I know people like this who, like, they just can't, like, express actual, like, care. So he's like, instead he's like, did you like my passport I made you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad is kind of, my dad is very, like, he's very
like
loving,
that.
but he's not. All I was gonna say.
But he's not so expressive.
No, okay. My dad he's expressive.
Really?
But at the same time, yes. It's kind of funny. He's like, he's I don't know. He's sweet sometimes. He gets in these moods where he's like, how are you, girl? Like,
oh.
Yeah, but then other times he's not. You know. But anyway, one of his things is he's always like bringing, if he has a dessert, you have to try the dessert. And even if you say, I do not want the dessert, he's like, please, will you just try it? It's just so good. Please try it. And then I'm like, Dad, I do not want your dessert. He's like, no, please. It's just so good. You need to try it. That's what's making me think of.
It's literally the same thing, yeah.
Make sure you try the churros.
Yeah.
But my dad will be like aggressive and he's like, please,
the churro.
Please, you need to try them. Really, stop. It's okay. But
but like the way that Cassius will be like, you like the passport? And then he doesn't say anything. He's like, anyway, so back to the like that's how my dad is. It's so funny. He'll call me and he'll just be like, hey, and I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah. What you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? And guys, my dad isn't that grumpy, but like he's very similar to Bront in a lot of ways. So imagine Bront being like, hey, how was your day?
Tell the story you told me earlier about your dad getting ripped because it has nothing to do with anything.
This has nothing to do with anything, but it is funny. At the beginning of COVID, my dad was like, I'm getting fat, and by like fat, he just means he was like a beanpole his whole life. So he's just like normal. So he just Googles how to get ripped in 60 days, clicks the first result, and then like lived like that was the Bible for like the next 5 years. Because here we are today, and he's still like, he'll call my mom and be like, hey, can you make me a cheeseburger? And like she just knows that means a beef patty with cheese on it, and that is it. That's a cheeseburger.
Oh
it's crazy.
The first article is insane.
The first article. And so he would come to me, and like nutrition was like something that I was really interested in for a while. So he would come to me and he'd be like, yeah I know that
you said you wanted to be a nutritionist, and I was like, I'm not sure, sweetie.
It was a very brief, but like a time that aligned exactly with the time that I was graduating from high school, so it almost happened. But woo, I like this more. Anyways, so like my dad would come to me and he'd be like, yeah, like I know bread is like it makes you fat, and I was like, no, that's not how it works. No, but it was just because it's the first thing he clicked on, and that was the truth now. But anyways.
That's so funny. So funny about him.
It has nothing to do with anything.
Because I feel like he's not like that with anything else. But he's
No.
like, yeah, no.
That's
Yeah.
probably the right thing. The first thing I ever read. That's it. I'm going with that now. Very NI. But like, not a normal way.
T-E.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
T. But anyways, yeah. My dad as of Bronte was like, hey, do you like the meme I sent you?
Yeah.
That's actually, he'll send a meme and then just like a smiley face and be like, will you call me? But he would never actually say, will you call me? Mm-hmm. My mom will just be like, he was pouting today because you called me first.
They're so sensitive, but you just,
I know.
they just hide it
It's
under
so
the
funny.
man.
I know. They hide it really badly.
Yeah.
Anyways, dads are fun. And this episode is over 2 hours long.
You know what?
We were saying before
It's
we
okay.
started this, we were like, this next part's gonna be really fast. We'll probably get through a lot of chapters.
Yeah.
And we got through like less than we did last time.
Yeah.
We always do that.
Yikes.
Chapter 13 is crazy.
Maybe we should record more, I'm not sure. But
Maybe.
we'll talk about it after we end this.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks for listening.
Yeah,
I
thanks
hope
for
this will be
listening.
one episode or two, but
I hope this makes you guys happy. This is our gift. This is our churros.
gift to you.
Yeah. It's like, do
Did
you
you
guys
like it?
like this?
You like our
Alright.
passport?
Anyway, get us to 2,000 followers. so
And
we can
we'll reveal our faces. Please.
Yeah. Now that we're like 21 and not children.
Yeah. You can be on the internet without being afraid. Alright. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Enjoy the churros.
Thank you for listening to the Forbidden Cities podcast. Leave us a review and tell a friend about the podcast if you liked us. Email us with comments and episode suggestions at theforbiddencitiespodcast@gmail.com, and to follow us on Instagram, just search @Forbidden Cities Podcast.